Hello, everybody. As always, thank you so very much for watching this episode of Something to Think About on the American Doofus channel. And this is going to be primarily a Louisville, Kentucky based brief something to think about as we talk about what happened with Grandmaster Jay. We have the latest on Grandmaster Jay, John Fitzgerald Johnson, Supreme Commander of the NFAC. And we'll get to that. We begin with sad news for those that have been involved with the struggle for justice for Breonna Taylor, especially those in the Louisville area. This comes from the Louisville Courier Journal. One more hole in our hearts. Breonna Taylor protesters mourn the death of leader Chris Wells. He played Santa for Christmas. He shined on the dance floor, and he was always the best dressed person in the room. But when people think of Chris Wells, they'll remember him mostly with a bullhorn leading nightly marches through downtown Louisville in Breonna Taylor's name, never ceasing no matter how few people joined him. On Sunday, Wells was found dead in his apartment from a gunshot wound. He was 33 years old. Got a picture down here I wanted to show real quick. This was Chris getting arrested June 17th, 2020. Spent about 6 hours in jail, and quote, "I felt like I was in hell," he said. However, what he did say about the time in jail was that he was in jail for the right reasons. He was in jail for standing up for what was right. He hadn't killed somebody. He wasn't selling drugs. He hadn't stolen anything. He wasn't in jail for doing something wrong. He went to jail for doing something right, for standing up to people. And I think that's how he'll be remembered by the people in Louisville, those that are grieving. And we share our thoughts and sympathies and prayers with all of those in that community that we've reported on so very often. Now, our next let's go to this. Our next quick story. This is Grandmaster Jay, the Supreme Commander of the NFAC. And he was today is the 22nd of August. He was supposed to be sentenced today. For those that don't know Grandmaster Jay, Grandmaster Jay's real name, John Fitzgerald Johnson, found guilty by a jury in Louisville, Kentucky on pointing a firearm at law enforcement officials during a racial justice protest in downtown 2020. 59-year-old is the leader of the Not Effing Around Coalition, NFAC, a black armed militia. Johnson claims that the NFAC was launched in 2017. First appeared publicly after 9 white supremacists descended upon Dayton, Ohio in 2019, May of that year. The militia's membership numbers have never been verified, but after interviewing its leader, the nonprofit newsroom The Trace described the NFAC as one of the largest militias in the U.S. We've reported on here numerous times back then. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, the NFAC was the 4th largest militia in the United States, by far the largest all-black militia. The only other militia that were bigger were ones that you've heard quite a bit about: the constitutional sheriffs, the oath keepers, and the 3 percenters. I imagine the Proud Boys is probably higher ranked now than possibly some of those, but that's a different story. Grandmaster Jay, John Fitzgerald Johnson, faces a sentence of at least 7 years in prison without the option of parole. Sentencing was scheduled for today, August 22nd. Now, I went to United States District Court, Western District of Kentucky. After a lot of looking around, I found this phone number. I was able to get some information. Grandmaster Jay was not sentenced today. The way I understand it, the sentencing has been postponed until at least November 9th of this year. There are other court actions and filings that have taken place that I learned about that I'm not going to share here. But at any rate, that is the update. Grandmaster Jay has not been sentenced. They are still working. His legal team is still working to try to rectify his situation. So wanted to update you on those things. Again, Louisville, Kentucky, the sad loss of Chris Wells, one of the, if not the major leader of the protests during Breonna Taylor and after the protesting kind of moved into a different format, if you will. He was active in church and in numerous other things. So a good man lost. And again, Grandmaster Jay has not been sentenced, although today was supposed to be the day. His legal team is still working to see what can be done. And just wanted to bring you updates on those things. Now, I want to give you a quick look ahead of what we're going to be talking about coming up. We're going to be looking at what is a cult, okay? The reason, because we've got groups on different sides of the political spectrum and on different sides of fundamental beliefs. And a lot of people are using the word cult. And we're gonna explore that. We're gonna look at something that we've delved into quite often on here. What is QAnon? And we're gonna look at who are or what is Antifa. And finally, we are going to look at the signs of hate, a parental guide to far-right codes, symbols, and acronyms. We're also going to have Apollo join us, hopefully tomorrow. We've, thoughts and prayers have always been extended and will always be extended to Apollo. For those that don't know, Apollo and I basically organized, the two of us kind of decided, let's start this group and try to make a difference in our country. It was called EAR, End All Racism. And Apollo and I kind of began that, if you will. And that's a whole different story, what happened with that. And I really always look forward to having him on. It's been several months since we've talked, and we will be talking soon. His mom had some health problems, and he's being a loving son, and he's taking care of his mom, and we love and respect him totally for that, and he will be on here real soon. I also have somebody from the somebody that is monitoring everything going on with the 1776 movement and counter protesters, and we're going to have her on, and I might have a couple of other people on. All of that's coming up. So thanks for watching. Again, our two big stories, sad losses in Louisville as far as Chris Wells, 33 years old, self-inflicted gunshot wound seems to be the initial cause of his death. And Grandmaster Jay, leader, supreme commander of the NFAC Black Militia, has not been sentenced. So thanks for watching. We'll be back real soon. We'll be live with Late Night in America. Just check the posts on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all the accounts, and see when we're coming back live. It's generally around 11 p.m. and 3 or 4 nights a week. So again, thanks for watching. This has been something to think about on the American Doofus channel.